Alrighty, hello, good morning, and welcome to Bima's Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Els, and today we are going to put this little golden book together. So let's take a look at what we've got. Where are you, little golden book? Here it is. All right, so this is our little golden book. And it's Winnie the Pooh. It just happens to be one that I had. No specific reason. Okay. So let me grab this real quick. This is a link to the playlist for how to do this to a little golden book. Let me get all this out of the way. So it tells you how to get your staples out, remove your signatures, how to build your spine without cutting the book apart in any way. And then it walks through how to reduce your pages down, because if you don't reduce your pages, what ends up happening is they stick out about that far. And nobody likes that. Hey, Miss Mari. So today we are going to, it also tells you how to build your signatures and keep the story intact. That's important. Usually these are 2 signatures. And because of the way that the books are printed, you kind of have to keep it at 2 signatures. We also have here our template, which we made from our book. We're going to be putting 1 signature on each side of the center. And so we made sure that our template would close. That way we knew our pages would be okay. And we're going to go ahead and pop some holes in this today. So I'm going to grab some clamps. We're going to put one at the bottom and one at the top. We're going to check again to make sure that that's centered. Needs to move just a little bit at the top here. There we go. Get it nice and centered. There we go. Now we're going to get out our awl and we're going to be poking some holes. Normally, I poke the holes in, but that's a little bit more difficult if you are somebody who has never done a journal. So I'm not going to do that today. Today we're going to go ahead and do this way. And you want to make sure these go straight through, straight up and down. Now, I'll show you why I usually do it the other way. You get these things that I call eruptions. That's where it pops out. But it's okay for this because I'm showing you how to do this. Now, if you don't want to see this in the middle, you can put a piece of paper on here. I don't want to see it, so I'm going to put a piece of paper down here. It can be anything. It could be a piece of washi tape, a strip, whatever. Let's see. What are we going to put on there? We're going to drop stuff on Harry's head. That's always fun. And then we're going to take a strip. That's a little bit wide, so I am going to narrow it up just a little bit. It's sticky. Come on, Alice. Put it on the damn cutter. You can't screw it up. It's sticky. Right? Yes, there's a piece for you, Harry. What? Here, you can play with it. All right, let's see if I got that narrow enough. I did. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here and glue this down. That's glue. You can't play with glue. No. You've played with it before. You don't like it. It gets on your feet. You always tell me you don't like it. You're like, no, I don't like the glue, Mama. No, stop. That's a pin. You don't want to get poked. Okay. All right, a little bit of glue. You could use some 1/4-inch tape too if you want. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I'm putting this on the book. I'm putting it on the book. You wait. No, it's going on this. This is your piece over here. Yeah, that's your piece. There you go. Play with that one. That should entertain you for a minute or two. Yep, go get it. Icky stickies. And cut that off. Okay. So now my book is ready. I'm going to let that glue dry. Yeah, he wants to craft. All right, so this is my top, this is my bottom, so that means this is my first signature. I'm just going to fold that on the fold line. I'm going to find the middle. We're going to make sure that all of our pages are where we want them. Okay. It is important that you make sure your pages are where they need to be before you do this. Okay. So those are all where I want them to be. And now we are going to get out some clips. I'm going to clip this together. There we go. Top, bottom. Right there. Got that all the way down in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put my holes in. Okay. Now we're going to stitch this signature. And let me grab my threads. Hi, Christine. we use a Winnie the Pooh color. And I'm going to grab a needle. You guys have seen me do this enough times, I could use a little one. And not poke myself. I'll poke myself anyway. We know I will. Put that in there. That off to the side. Get rid of this. Let's see if I can get this unknotted. I think we'll have just enough here to do both signatures. All right, so I'm going to thread this needle. Bring this over. I'm going to open that up. I'm going through the middle. So down through the middle on this as well. Okay, tail. Clip that off, clamp it off, whatever it is you feel you need to do. And then we're going to go up through the next hole. Down through the next hole. Down, go down the hole. Okay, go there, pull that back up. All right, then we're going to come back up through that hole. Turn the whole thing over. We're going to go through this one. And back up through that one. This is the hardest part because you want to try and get it through there without going through your thread. There we go. Get this out of the way, and we're going to go back down through here. Oh no, they got to match. Everything's got to match. Otherwise, it's going to go in there crooked. You want everything to match up. Especially if you have trimmed this page to be inside, excuse me, slightly smaller than the cover. Because when you put this in, you don't want to have like one higher than the other in the book. So you really want to make sure you measure everything out. Okay. And back down through here. Again, we're attempting to not catch this thread. So we're trying to stay just below it. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to tighten this down. All right. So now we are there. We have that. We're going to go underneath that first loop and the thread. Bring it down. And then right over left, left over right. We know the deal. Tie that off. Snip these. You can snip them all the way down to the knot if you want to. That's, you know, it's a personal thing. We have plenty there to do the next signature. We're going to take off our clips. And that is our first signature in. I think a little golden book is like the only one that you don't trim the pages on height. All right, so now we're going to do the next one. And again, we're just going to make sure that our pages are where we want them. We don't want, like, if you have a short page in there and you wanted it at the top, you don't want it to be at the bottom. Now, if you're using pages that are like this, that are all pretty much the same height, I suppose a 3-hole pamphlet stitch could work. However, I don't recommend them at all, because in my opinion, they fall apart. I have seen many a journal that has a 3-hole pocket, you know, 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It either doesn't catch a page or it only catches one spot on the page. Think about it. If you have a middle card and you have a 3-hole, you have a hole here, and a hole here, you're only going to catch that middle piece by one hole. So for me, no bueno. All right, I'm going to move over on my template. I'm going to get it in here. Making sure that it's down in the fold. Keep your fingers out of the way. All along the seam here, all along the seam there, nice and straight. Let's put this puppy in. All right, down through the center again. And through the center hole. I have seen tragedies, literally. I have seen people do a journal and become completely discouraged because they used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and the whole journal fell apart. Like, they worked on it for days, weeks, months, finally get to the point where they can put it together and their 3-hole pamphlet stitch literally just falls apart. And that's sad. And it's discouraging, you know? And I've had people come back and go, I don't know what I did. I followed all the directions. I did what everybody told me. And I said, well, how did you do it? And they told me, and that's where your problem lies. You used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to hold in 10-page signatures. You know, that's a lot of weight to expect, you know. And I know that on YouTube, at least, I was one of the first people using a 5-hole, and now everybody does it. Because I've seen more and more creators that have lost, you know, months worth of work. All right. Sorry about not having it on screen. I have to be able to see where the stitches are going. Okay. Again, we're going to go here. And on this one, we went down and then up. And on the other one, we went up and then down. That's why our first stitches are on the opposite side. Why am I going under this stitch? I go under that stitch so that I'm pulling against the stitch and not against the page. because I don't want to pull against my paper, because then I'll guarantee I'll tear it. Take these off. Hopefully I got this in going in the right direction. I do. All right. And there is a stitched little golden book. All right, we're going to put the lid back on this. Get it put away. Put these back up in the bucket there so I don't lose them. Get these out of my way. Move this. All right, so my book is stitched together. Now, it doesn't have a closure, and it doesn't really have any details. But I have beautiful stitches, nice and straight down my back line. All of my pages are fitting in, except for, where I have tabs that I intended to have poking out. We may put another tab or two in here just to kind of balance it a little bit because everything's at the top. But not too shabby. It's always going to have that gaiter because these are very thick at the back because of the way that you fold them to get them into the book. So they're always going to pop a little bit. So you're always going to have that little extra gaiter. But it only happens when you stand it up. If you lay it down, it stays flat. All right, what are we going to do with this thing? We have to put a closure on it. We need to needs a closure and needs a little decorating. We need like a tassel on it or something. So let's open this up to the center. I'm going to do an elastic closure. So I'm going to get my big bite out here. Probably should have done this before, but I'm lazy, so what can I say? Ooh, okay. I didn't think about it. All right, so we're going to put this in. 2 4 inches. That is the middle because this is an 8-inch tall book. I'm going to poke a hole and hope I don't go through any of my threads. I shouldn't. There we go. And then we are going to reset our top. And I'm going to get out an eyelet. All right, let's see. Turning it over because I want the pretty part of the eyelet on the outside. We're going to get that in the hole. In the hole. And then we're going to put this back in here. 4 inches. 2 there. All right, I think it's hard to see, but I think it's in the hole. Okay, that was scary. All right, so now I have that. We're going to use an elastic for the closure. So let me see, where do I have some elastic? This is a good question, brain damage. Where's the end? No idea. All right, now I have elastic, but I don't know where the end is, so we'll find it. Ha! An end has been found. Okay. I found the end, but managed to, there we go. Okay. Now, usually I do this on a button, so we need to find a little bitty button. I need a little button. I need a button. I need a button. Where's my button jar? Over there. Let me go grab a button. All right. So this is my button jar. And let me get these out of the way. I have an orange colored one, but what I'm looking for is I have some in here that look like flowers. Yeah. That one's icky. I don't like that one. Oh, I have a little bee button. He's cute. I may put him on the thread though. I need a flower. Just a little flower. There we go. I got a flower. Which may be too big. We're going to find out. We're going to open this up and find it. Let me get this guy out of the way. No, it'll fit. Okay. So, button. I'm just going to thread the two ends through the holes. It's important that it fits through there. And then I'm going to tie a knot on the end, providing I get my fingers to do this. Tie a knot. Nice and tight. Snip these ends down. Button, okay? And then I didn't put the bee on. Dang, I wanted to put the bee on. We're going to put this through. Let me get my thing. Okay, let me go in. Oh, it's too big for that. This one's little. Okay. We'll try it one more time by hand. If I can't do it by hand, then I'll get out a flosser. I can do it. I can do it. There we go. Okay, button in. Not interfering. Elastic goes around. It's a little long. We'll tighten it up. How are we going to tighten it up? Simple. We're just going to pull these ends and tie a new knot. And I'm thinking like right about there. Give it a pull. Trim it off. Back in. Close. try our elastic. Muy better. Okay, that works better. Now, we need to glue this down. And for that, I'm going to get my new hot glue gun and get it heated. Okay. Ah. Can't believe I didn't put him on there. I wanted him on there. I didn't do it. Oh well. Maybe we'll put him on the tassel or something. Or not. Let's put him in there. Okay. There's that. What, all of a sudden you don't know how to screw back on? There we go. Alright, so once our hot glue gun heats up and we have hot glue, I'll put some hot glue on underneath here just to hold that down so that it doesn't come out. And I'm using hot glue because you can crack it and get it out later if the person that is using this book wants to replace the elastic. La da da. We're just waiting on hot glue. Story of my life. And then I think we'll get out the fibers and the ribbon and we'll make a tassel for this. It'll be fun. So how's everybody's day going? Okay. Okay. We have hot glue. Whoop. I don't like this hot glue gun. It's brand new and I don't like it. It go drippy drippy. All right, got that hot glued in. Get our elastic. This hot glue gun sucks. Okay. Because it drips. It's okay, we'll just put it on a stand. Hi, Miss Candy. 88 and humid. It's been humid in my house. Really weird. All right, so we got that part. Now we're going to do a thing up the top. So let's get out some fibers. What colors should we use? Ugh. Okay, I don't need you anymore, so I'm going to turn you off. Hang you back down there for now. Because I don't need you anymore. I did what I needed to do with you. All right. A house full of boxes. Yay! All right. So, Winnie the Pooh. Obviously red. And we need some of this because that's Eeyore. White. Because, I'm going to put some white in there. What else? Now we could just go straight with something like this and some ribbon. And I think that's what we're going to do. Let's put the fibers back in. No. We'll keep the red out. Okay, put that in there. We don't want to go with this. We're not going with that one. We are going with I think we're going to go with these. All right, put this away for the moment. Let's get out our ribbon. Red. Get us a big old piece of this. And purple for Eeyore. This big old piece of that. Gold for the honey. Because who's Pooh Bear without honey? Big old piece of that. Some pink for Piglet. I think we'll go with the darker pink because it's thin and it'll show up better this way. Piglet. Do some silver for Tigger. No. Green for the trees. No. Putting that away for a moment. Okay. So let's see. Waiting for Buggy to show up today because I got to take him to a school thing tomorrow. He's got his school thing. Chicken scratches and special. Hey, Michelle. Please, we just tucked a book in. Shoo. And I may get this all together and go, I hate this. Okay. Now what? Well, lots of this. Lots of it. All right, we're going to call that one quits. Let's see if we can find the end of this mess. There we go. All right, I'm going to put that on there with that. Alrighty. Get all this out of the way. Here we go. I need a big old loop. Yeah, one big old loop. Okay. Out of the way. All right, we got one of these. One of these. One of these. One of these. And one of these. And all I'm doing right now is just trying to kind of mix it all together. One of these. And one of these. That one. This one. This one. This one. That one. That one. And that one. And this one. And this one. This one. This one. That one. And these. And those can go on the bottom. All right, so now I'm going to find kind of the middle. That looks pretty good. Opening my piece up. There we go. So I'm splitting my ring. Find my middle. Twist. Just makes it easier to get it on the ring that way. I have to open my ring more. Yep, got to open my rings more. La, da, 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 da. Open the ring real wide. Okay. Twisting, 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 twisting. this on here around all of that, which we have done. And I'm going to put these back together. Holding. Okay. About halfway. Yep. Okay. We're going to untwist. Alrighty. I like it. Okay. Now I need why is that not coming out of there? Oh, because you shoved a bunch of stuff in there, stupid. Holy crap. What did I shove in here? Everything. I think you should get a big horn to put on there too. The air horn. Every time he does anything, blow the horn. Maybe I should take those to my grandson's dance recitals. He would be so, I don't know that fat lady. Oh, I broke that. Well, that sucketh. And of course I broke it before it tied. Well, let's just take that off and start again, shall we? There we go. Okay. We just want to tie a knot. That's all I want to do. We just want to tie a knot. There we go. We have a knot. Okay. And then I'm going to need a smaller ring. And I need a special piece, which is probably in here. Or not. Let me see. Oop. Oop. Might be the other one. Nothing's ever where I think it is, you know? Oh, here we go. All right. These are those Timmy things. Of course, ugly brother Tommy, I don't know. Okay. So, actually, these aren't Timmy Holtz at all. They're just regular cheap ones without his name on them. Okay, and get that. I'm going to open this up. Yeah, if you, amazingly, you know, if you buy stuff that doesn't have his name on it, it's cheaper. There, 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 and get that all lined up. I need to get this just a little bit more open. All right, let's try it. Nope, needs to be more open. It's okay. We know these things can happen. And there. We have our tassel on there. Hey, hey, stop falling. I've been looking for you guys for weeks, and you've been up there where you're not supposed to be. Okay. You go back in there where you belong. Hey, hey, hey. Sorry about rocking the camera, guys. Get up there. There we go. All right, now we got to put these fibers away. Fiber, fiber. This is the good kind, not that other Metamucil kind. That Metamucil kind doesn't work. It just makes your poop fatter. Okay. Hold on, this is a two-handed job. Screw it, I'll do it later. Okay, so now it is longer than the book, and you can trim this if you want. And what I do is I just grab it and bring it down in one big foul swoop. There. And it makes a great confetti mess. You know, what can I say? All right. So we've stitched in two signatures. We made a dangle for the side of it. We put a nice elastic closure on it. Two full signatures. And she's done. Now I could get stupid crazy with this and like fill it up with extra signatures and all that other stuff, but it doesn't really, you know, I think I might put some book corners on here if I have some small ones, which I might put some small book corners on it. Just because it is a little golden book and the corners tend to get a little frayed. So I'll probably put some little corners on it. And we'll call it done. Alrighty, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Put it together. Put it together. Put it together. I'm going to be doing this one soon. How to be a pirate. My son-in-law is part of a pirate. He's actually the leader of a pirate guild. So I was thinking this would be cute. If not for him, you know, for somebody in his guild, it would be adorable. So I'm probably going to take this one apart and do it. But, you know, I'll do that off the camera. Nobody needs to see that. Me being silly. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Little golden book. Put that in my pile of templates. Roll this up. What else? So tomorrow we're going to be starting the Dark Macabre. I'm going to change the What do you want to see? The Pirate Journal? You want to see me do this silliness? No. You and I can work on this one when it's just the two of us. That'll be our project to play with. My project to play with when we're doing that. Okay. All right. So let's see. I cannot believe that it is already 9/11. Like, is it just going fast or is it me? You know? Okay, so tonight we're going to be working in the idea book. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing yet. We're going back through the playlist. I have to go back and see what the next one is. Then tomorrow I will be here live. We'll start the Dark Macabre. So I kind of went with the New Orleans feel, but here's the problem with New Orleans. If you put in New Orleans, all you get is Mardi Gras shit, no matter where you search. And if you manage to find something that's kind of haunted New Orleans, because I've searched every which way but lose, it's cutesy. I didn't want to do that. So we're going with that theme, but we're going to loosely interpretate it. And so we're going to be doing a craft with me tomorrow night. I don't know what we're doing. And then Saturday, there'll be no mixed media, or at least I don't think there will be a mixed media because I'm going to be at bingo with my daughter. Tomorrow, we're going to get off a little bit early because I have to take Buggy to his thing at school. This month's Project of 25 challenge is playing cards and or packing tape. Whatever kind of packing tape you have. Yes, I'm going to improvise. No, we're not doing Mardi Gras. Now for Dark Macabre. We will be doing our game on Sunday. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you. I have got to scoot out of here. So if you're new here and I have not yet offended you, hit the button and make sure that you come back because I'll do it eventually. If you want to stalk me digitally, there's all kinds of links in the description box below. Just click on more. Until I see you again, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay well, my friends. I love you guys. Bye.